Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Armchair Pundits. As you would have seen over the last week, I've been doing a keep, loan, or sell the Liverpool with the Man United. And now we're moving on to Tottenham. And who else other than Daryl can we have on but Leon? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm all good, bro. All good. Just it's been a little while, so it's good to be back and good to talk about football again, man.
Yeah, for real. It has been a little while. But yeah, so without any further ado, we'll get it going. So we'll start with the obvious, which you probably won't see much on. But your first choice goalkeeper, Vicario.
Obvious
What are you
keep.
doing?
Um, Obvious keep, man. He needs to improve on crosses and corners, but many goalkeepers need to do that. So a 100% keep. It was a very good signing for us last year.
Okay, cool. Fraser Forster.
Uh, I mean, for experience, you keep, but if we find another goalkeeper, then great. But he's homegrown, so that also factors in. I'm sure he's part of the quota. That's why he's there. Another kind of Scott Carson situation, but he'll probably have to play the odd more games than Scott Carson has over the last how many years he's been at City.
Which is none. Um, okay, we've got two young goalkeepers. We'll probably put them both together. Brendan Austin and Alfie Whiteman.
Yeah, it's difficult to say really with them because whenever I've seen them play, there's not been nothing that I've really felt, oh yeah, I can see these guys as our future number ones or anything like that. So maybe a loans will for those ones. We're gonna need a third choice for sure. So I think one of them would have to go on loan for sure.
Okay, smoothly done. Moving on to defenders. This is probably another obvious one because he only signed him in January. Dragoson.
Mm. Yeah, Dragosin, happy to keep. He looks good. He looks rough and ready for the Premiership. He's definitely likes that physical style of game. So yeah, for me, it's a keep. He needs more game time. Hopefully, not at the results of suspensions and injuries, but earned.
Okay, cool. Emerson Royale.
So, I mean, he had a little cameo spell where he was doing all right, having to play in this inverted fullback role. But Emerson is not a bad defender at all. But the way we play with fullbacks progressing and moving the ball, he just doesn't have that in his locker. So for that reason, it's a sell for me.
Okay. Mr. Vice Captain, Christian Romero.
Yeah, Romero's been great. I think after he got sent off against Chelsea, he'd actually done quite well. I think collectively as a defensive unit, we didn't, but his individual performance, you can see the qualities that he brings. And if he can just stop being rash, which he did in the second half of the season, then hopefully he can ensure that he doesn't get suspended because we really need some stability at the back. That's for sure.
Okay. Pedro Porro.
Yeah, another keep. He definitely improved compared to the first 6 months that he had with us. I think last season was his first full year. So I think for us, he's done well. He improved defensively, which was my biggest concern about him. And you know that he's got quality on the ball. So happy
Mm.
that he gets preseason with us because he didn't get picked for Spain as well for the Euros.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
Was
Okay.
surprised.
Yeah. Okay, move on. Ben Davies.
I mean, for the experience, you keep him. But if I'm being honest, I'd be happy to sell if there was someone else to come in and replace him. There isn't a plethora of quality left backs out there, and I think that is the area that we really need because of the style of play we play. Ben doesn't fit that role. I think he's good to deputize, but realistically against the bigger teams is where you see Ben kind of struggles now.
Mm.
And you know, I just don't think he can cut it at the top games. But I think if he's filling in against some of the lesser sides, I think it's fine to have him. So it's a keep, but I'm not really here or there with him. If I'm being honest.
Okay. This next one's a mystery for me because I would have thought it would have been perfect for how you play. Sergio Reguilon.
No, because he can't defend, which is his problem. In fact, he also isn't a great crosser of the ball, and I think that's one of the reasons why he didn't really do well. He didn't. He hasn't really done much, even in his loans. I think Brentford was probably the team that gave him the most game time during his loan spell.
He played wing back there as well,
Yeah,
didn't
he even went back to Spain and didn't do anything. So I think it's a sell for me. Reguilon is just he's kind of hit the wall from a defensive perspective and doesn't offer enough when he's in possession. So it's a sell, unfortunately.
Okay, Ashley Phillips.
Alone. Ashley's been really, really good. I think he hasn't played enough games in the championship. I think he's only 18. So to me, another loan spell at hopefully a better championship club, and if not a lower Premier League team. Maybe you don't want him to play for a team in a relegation because what you don't want is to ruin his confidence. But definitely he definitely needs another year of experience, and I'd be happy to have him as in 2025 to be in contention to start for us because I think he's got a lot of qualities that I think we need at the back.
Okay, another one who will be straightforward, Mickey van der Ven.
To keep, man. It's one of the signings of the season again, probably the signing of the season. He's a fan favorite already. You've seen his versatility. He's capable of playing at left back and centre back, which I said before. And he's showing that for Netherlands, and he's showing it for us
I was
when
going to
we
say that. I
had
think
to fill
I think
there.
Netherlands are going to use him as left back in the
Yeah,
tournament, aren't they?
yeah,
Him and Ake.
because they got so many, they got so many good centre backs. But yeah, I think he's been outstanding, and I think if he can stay fit and we can protect him a little bit from having to make these last ditch tackles all the time, it would be great. But no, it's definitely keep, unquestionable.
Okay, Destiny Udogi.
Yeah, another one, really, really good signing. Really happy with how he started with us. I think towards the end of the season, he kind of tailed off a little bit, but he's young. First season in the Premier League, and defensively, in his one-on-one duels, I was really impressed with how he dealt with a lot of tricky players, and I think he's got the speed and the strength. And it's just at times he's lapse a little bit of concentration, especially with players who run off the ball or make good off the ball runs. But definitely keep.
Okay, Alfie Dorrington.
Loan, he's young centre back. Definitely needs some more experience playing in professional game against men who are gonna be physical and try to intimidate him. But definitely a quality youngster, maybe one for the future.
Okay, Joe Roden. Hasn't really
Sell,
played for you for like 18 months, has
yeah,
he?
it's a sell. I mean, I didn't really know where we were going with the signing in the first place because I didn't really think that he was an amazing player or someone who I would see as a hot prospect for the future. Seen him play for Wales, seen him play for Leeds. He's been okay. I think he done okay when he went on loan. I think it was to Nice or
I think it was
Lille.
Leo. I
Lille.
think it was Leo.
It's one of them. But yeah, I just don't think that he's good enough for what we need. So sell.
Jed Spence. I know he's potentially in the middle of a move to Girona or Genoa. Sorry,
Genoa,
Genoa.
yeah, Genoa. Yeah, Genoa have
But
made a bid. Yeah, I think,
it's a mystery. He's a mystery,
no,
isn't
it's
he?
not a mystery. It's
But
not a
so he's
mystery.
got
We know what it
he's
is.
troubled apparently.
It's attitude. When he's not around familiarity, he can knuckle down, and clearly
Mm,
that's what's happened. He gone to Genoa, doesn't know anyone out there, can't be moving the same way. They're very strict in Italy when it comes to punctuality and being professional, doing your fitness
mm.
and all that sort of stuff in training. So when he's able to focus, you can see the potential that's there. But unfortunately, I just don't think we're the right club for him to progress. And I think going to Genoa will be good for him. It's a shame, really, because there's a really, really talented player in there. And I think he would have been perfect if, with the right attitude, he'd be perfect for what Ange wants to do.
Okay, we'll move on to midfielders. Oliver Skip.
So, I think he is a good Premier League player, but I just don't think he's good enough at the level that we need him to be to take us to the next level. I think there's a limitation there, and I feel like when we really need someone in there to take control, you saw what Pat Matasar's done over the last season, and that's kind of what we thought Skip might have been, but no, he's not in bracket really, and we'd only be keeping him for the homegrown quota if we're being honest.
What about Europa League?
Yeah, as well, Europa as well. So I'm selling Cell right now, but that
So,
is with the
okay.
caveat of bringing
You're getting.
better in, if that makes
Okay,
sense.
okay, okay.
If we don't,
Okay.
I've got no issues with him staying, but there's other players who I would sell before him, put it that way. But he would be in.
I'm guessing one of them is the next guy up, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Yeah. Um, I just don't think he fits into Andy's system. He doesn't play forward passes enough. He doesn't keep possession well enough in tricky situations. I think he's got a lot of leadership qualities, which I think would be good for maybe another team, a young team. It's somewhere in not in the Premier League, but I just don't think he fits in our system, and we've kind of been just a bit disappointed overall with him. Compared when he first came, he looked like he was going to be a really, really good asset, but just hasn't really worked out. And we've obviously
He
had a
seems
lot of
like more of an
changes.
enforcer. I don't think you guys probably don't work with an enforcer as much.
But he's not really an enforcer he's not an enforcer who,
Like he puts his foot in it,
yeah,
I'd
he
say.
puts his foot in, but he's not someone who, you're not an enforcer that he really affects the game. When you look at it, you go, you know
Mm,
what? He's been a disruptor. You can see his presence on the pitch. He doesn't really do that. He doesn't really, you don't really go, oh, you know what? I can't remember the last time I said, you know what, Højbjerg was dominating.
good to do. Okay. Okay, okay. All right. Um, James Madison.
Yeah, it's a keep. We need someone to
Easy
push in.
peasy.
It's an
Mm.
easy peasy keep, but he needs to be constantly challenged, and I think that's what Brendan Rodgers found out when he was at Leicester, that Madison needs challenging. And I think when he first started, obviously before the injury, is great. And injury does that to people. I mean, he had
Hmm.
9 assists and four goals, which isn't a terrible return, but when you see how many of those assists came in the first
Yeah. Before
part
he
of
got
the
injured.
season before he got injured, and you look at the second half and you're like, okay, yeah, you can see why he didn't make it into the England squad because of his form or lack thereof. Yeah, just really dropped off. So I'm hoping that the summer will give him the chance to refocus and work his way back into that form that he had at the start of last season.
Okay, this is a bit of a weird one because I think you've extended his loan, but do you think he's worth making a loan permanent? Timo Werner.
For me, I wasn't overly I wasn't overly enthusiastic about him staying for another year, but
Oh, really?
I'm also not mad at it. I feel like he made a contribution, but seeing him live and seeing some of the something is still missing from him. There's still, like, he's that Chelsea experiences, I think, has ruined him.
Mm,
Um Compared to what he was at Leipzig. And you've seen even when he went back to Leipzig that he wasn't the same player. And when he first came to Chelsea, there was times where he was so direct. He was just running at people. You're like, oh my gosh,
mm.
this guy's a problem. He just doesn't. He needs to get that
Confidence
back.
is knocked.
Really knocked. And there's times where you see him take on a player. He's not someone who's got skill, but he's able to run with the ball at pace, and that's something that defenders hate because they're on the back foot. But yeah, there's just not enough of that from him, and that's the only reason why I would have been like, I wasn't overly enthusiastic. But I'm not mad at the extension of the loan. It doesn't really
Okay.
cost up much, and even if we did sign him permanently, it's a small fee, like 16 mil or something like that. It's nothing in today's. It's mad to say that's a small amount of money, but in football terms, it's a small amount of money,
Okay, cool. All right. Let's also Mr. 80 minutes.
mate. I don't know
Comes on at
where,
80 minutes all the time.
bro. That this is Ange, and this is what seems to be happening with all the managers that come in with Lo Celso. There's a player there. There really, really is. And when he's playing for Argentina, that player comes out. When he's playing for Tottenham, that player does not come out. And I don't know whether it's something that's going on in training or what, but I feel like we just need to just let him go now. Like we've loaned him out. Villarreal didn't want to pay the money that we were asking for. I think he has something to offer, but I just don't know if we're the club to get that something out of him.
Mm.
Unfortunately, and I think it's a shame because I really do think he's a good player. I just don't think we'll get the best out of him. Unfortunately,
Okay, Brendan Johnson.
Brennan Johnson. There is a lot of potential. I think the way he plays and his mannerisms doesn't work in his favor because of his style and the way it doesn't look appealing, but at the same time he is, for his age group and the
Mm.
contributions that he's made, it's one of the best in Europe, like in the top 10 in Europe in terms of contributions. I think it's chances created or big chances created. I think it was. He's in the top 10 of players in his age group in Europe. And it's difficult to see that when you see him play at times because you feel like his decision making is not
Mm-hmm.
great and he doesn't really beat players. He doesn't really, there's nothing that you see about him. You go, you know what? He does that really well. But somehow he creates chances. And I think it's partly because of the system that we play and the way that we move the ball and the way that players move into space, I feel benefits what we need from him. I'm
Mm.
hoping that there'll be some more development because I definitely feel like there's something there. You can see that there's some talent there, but I haven't seen that this is it. This is what I think he offers us yet. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Okay, Dejan Kulusevski.
Man, Kulu had a bad season, boy. A really bad season. At the beginning when we were playing well, it looked like, he knew that his numbers weren't great and he was, really, really putting a lot of effort in. But I don't know what's happened to him. Decision making has been so poor. His ability to take people on, poor. I don't know what's going on. He's been very predictable. His first
Mm.
season, he was outstanding. Absolutely. You couldn't have asked for a better introduction to the Premier League in your
Yeah.
first 6 months. And then he just tailed off and he hasn't come back. Again, he got injured. I think it was under Conte, he got injured
Mm.
and he hasn't been the same since. So I think for us, injuries have definitely been a really, really big problem because a lot of players have
Okay.
not come back the same. But
Okay, Pep Star.
keep,
I think that's a straightforward one. Keeping it.
keep. He's an
Okay.
outstanding talent, and everyone at Tottenham is excited about him. I'm not even going to go into too much because he's just a keep, straight up.
Benton Core.
Keep needs to stay injury free.
Mm.
Unfortunately, injuries cost him last season, and he wasn't the same again. Hopefully, a bit more time. He's going to have Copa America, which isn't going to help, but maybe it will help get his fitness up because obviously being
Mm-hmm.
out for that length of time with the
Yeah.
cruciate ligament is going to help. So keep
Is Bissouma.
this guy. This guy. He's like one of them guys that you can see that he's a baller when he's ready, but application. He was poor after that. I think it's after that sending off against Luton when he done
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
foolishness. He hasn't been the same. Has not been the same at all. We haven't even seen Brighton version of Basuma. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. New manager, new system, keep. But
Okay.
next season, if it ain't, if it's a sell. If it ain't,
Okay, cool.
if we don't see that Basuma again,
Mikey Moore, a youngster that
youngster.
was with the under 20s, I
Yeah,
think.
been doing it
England under
really,
20s.
doing really well with the England under 20s loan. Man, we need to get these youngsters on loan, and get some experience at the professional level. See what they're made
Okay.
of.
Moving on to the forwards. This will be straightforward as well. Captain Son Heung-Min.
Yeah, we need to find the right players to make sure he doesn't have to play as a centre forward, or play. all of our games. I think he has been run into the ground for the last 5 or 6 years, having to play Asia Cup, Olympics,
Mm.
um, whatever else that he's had to do. It's been crazy how many tournaments he's had to play in. So for me, keep.
Okay, Richarlison.
Keep unless an offer more than what we paid for him comes in. So if Saudi go, we will give you 65 million, I'm taking it. Taking it. But I think that when he had a little run, he was really, really good for us. I think when his confidence is up, he is a really,
Mm.
real, really. I think he's a real problem for defenders. Defenders don't like playing against him. So
Yeah.
for that reason, I'd keep him. And we don't have enough goals in our team, so keeping him, mate.
Okay, Minor Solomon.
Didn't really get to see much of him, but
Yeah, knee injury, innit?
injury. I don't know what's going on. Whether he'll come back the same, but for now he gets the benefit of the doubt. Keep, but yeah, if we manage to get a few players that I think we can get or we should get, then it's a sell.
Okay, hot prospect Dane Scarlett.
Want to see him get some more game time. I really want to know whether he's really ready for this level. I think we only loaned him out to Portsmouth and I can't remember who else. But basically, we need to know whether he can make it at this level because for youth level and for England under 21s or England under 90s or under 20s, this guy scores goals for fun.
Yeah.
So we just need to know, is he the real deal or is he just another one of those youngsters that will probably end up being championship/League One level?
Okay, cool. Brian Gill.
So I think there's a player in there as well, and
Just not a Premier League one.
just not a Premier League one, and definitely not one for Ange because he barely played him in any meaningful way last season.
Mm.
He came in real dead minutes, and yeah, we just been loaning him, and it's not. It's we just need to
So,
sell. Just need to sell.
okay. The last three are youngsters. Will Lancashire.
Yep, loan. Done scored a bagload of goals at youth level. Need to see what he's made of in the professional ranks, and the same with Jamie Donnelly, who has been making. I think he's like a playmaker, but make so many assists. His passing in this vision is really, really impressive. But we need to see
Mm.
if he can take it to the next level at the professional game. Veliz, um, I I want to loan him, but I don't want him going to Spain. He's not going to learn his trade
Yeah,
in
yeah, he's
Spain.
not.
He needs to be playing in the English league. He needs to learn
Mm.
about the English game if we really want to keep him and turn him into something. And I think there's a player in there as well. I just think that if he's going to go on loan, he needs to be in the UK. And if it's no one else in, we keep him because and just start blooding him some minutes, man.
Mm. Okay, so that is your keep, sell, or loan list. Now it is what we've done with the other two. Give me a few players who you're looking at yourself or the club's looking at and that you want to come in this summer.
Boy, there've been lots of rumors about Eze from Palace. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think a few teams are probably
Everyone needs an
interested.
Eze.
Everyone needs an Eze, man. He's got a little bit of something different, and he's definitely someone that can conjure up a chance out of nothing, and that's what we need in our team.
Yeah.
Palace, I think, have slapped a 60 million minimum fee. If that is the fee, Daniel Levy, get the damn checkbook out and just make that damn signing, man. We ain't got time for all these
Apparently,
games.
the buyout clause is for teams in the Champions League. Not sure how true it is, but I
Look,
think that's why they've told Chelsea they need to speak to Crystal Palace because they can't. I don't think they can actually trigger the clause. Same with Man United. So I say Chelsea for Elise and Eze, it's both the same.
mm,
So
that's
yeah,
fine. If that's the case, that's fine. But ultimately, you have to test the resolve. You slap the
yeah,
60 mil and say, do you want this money? If you don't, then cool. But if the minimum fee is 60 mil, just make the 60 mil. bid,
You don't
man.
leave, he's going to go to 57.
He's probably going to go to 50,
50,
55
52.
plus add-ons, bruv. And the add-ons are not even going to be achievable. But
2 Ballon d'Ors
you know what I
and win 3
mean?
World Cups.
But no, we need to go buy him, man. So yeah, Eze, we need another striker. I say another striker, we need a striker, man. And for me, one springs to mind is Openda. I think he's
Mm.
exciting. He's
He's
done
nice.
well. He's scored goals no matter where he's been. He's gone Belgium. He went to France. He's gone to Germany, and he's bagged 20 goals a season.
Mm.
You saw what he done against Man City in the Champions League. He's pacey. He's exciting.
Both
He's good on the
games.
ball, and I think if we really want to be part of the challenging teams, we need to sign someone of that ilk. A pipe dream would be Alexander Isak, and that's only being based on these
Jeez.
rumors that
PSR, yeah?
Newcastle, yeah, the new rumors that Newcastle need to sell someone. I think realistically, there are bigger teams that will go for him, but you just never know what might happen and what is achievable. So, but yeah, I think for Newcastle, that was an amazing signing. And if they need to
Mm.
sell, I mean, they bought him for like 65, 70 million. They'll have probably,
I think it was less than that, you know?
no, I don't think so.
I think it was less than 70.
Yeah, I
But
think the
but
add-ons
I
made
could
it
be wrong.
70. I think it
Okay.
was 60 something and the add-ons made it 70. But basically, he's been outstanding for them. And I can see much bigger teams going for him than us, unfortunately. Um, right back, we need left back. I haven't figured out who we could buy because there just isn't, as I said, there isn't a lot of great left backs around. But
Mm.
right back, Gertruda from Feyenoord. He's a
That's
player.
nice. That's a
He's a
nice
player
signing.
who can play as a right back, centre back, or DM. I think he'd be perfect playing that inverted role, which he's had to do for Feyenoord under Arne Slot. So I think he would be a great signing for us if Liverpool don't need him. We've got Trent, but yeah, if Slot doesn't try and raid Feyenoord, I think we should definitely go for him. And there's an exciting youngster who's at Rennes called Desiree Dure. I think that's how you pronounce it. We've been linked with him. Strong, 19, uh,
Yeah,
built
bro.
built
He looks
ready,
good. He looks
man.
good.
Talented. He's got a good touch. Really, really pacey, and the
Mm.
type of player that we need who can play on the wing. So he's a wild card really because with these youngsters you don't really know how they're going to fare
Yeah.
and whether they might have the right attitude as we've seen with some other signings that we've made. But no, definitely one for the future, and he's going to the Olympics, so we'll probably get a really good glimpse of him if Thierry
Mm.
picks him in his starting lineup. So we'll see.
Anyone else on your list? Any former players that you don't mind bringing
To be
back?
honest with you, there's been a lot of talk about Marcus Edwards. I mean, I don't know if that ship has sailed with him because he's looked good playing for Sporting Lisbon, but I don't know if what he does for them will translate to Premier League. Um, like he's got pace, he's tricky, he's agile, but I don't know
Mm.
how he'll deal with the physical side of the Premier League because he hasn't played against that for a while, and the only team he's really played against is Arsenal and us, and we're probably the
Yeah.
softest when it comes to that side of the game in the Premier League. So um, I don't know with Marcus whether it would be a good thing for him to come back, but there's been a lot of talk about it, and if we got him at a cut price deal, I'll take him because I think he's definitely got talent for sure, talent for days. But it's just whether that translates to Premier League football. I don't know.
Okay. So is that your lot?
I mean, that is my, there's a whole plethora
You
of
can go
players. You
forever.
could go forever, but I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
thought
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
keep it short. But yeah, Openda, Gertruda, Eze, man. Eze is the number one target for me. We shouldn't even be looking at anyone else. I think Ivan Tony's been mentioned. We don't really know what's going on with him. I'm not sure if about the attitude side of him. I think I like the fact that he's a little bit arrogant because you need to be as a striker. But I'm just not excited by signing him. I'll be more excited by signing a Pender and Eze if I'm being honest.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Leon. that's a wrap for this week. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.
Catch you later.